Ooh, fancy. No, not the snapshot. This, right? Starting to finish up. Well, not really. We're getting there though. But I am starting to do some of the finishing touching elements, like obviously the, what do you call it, title screen? Anyway, Runechant, a world to discover. Discover, yes, just looks weird because of the V. Anyway, we have been working hard on the enchantments. In fact, I can straight away go ahead and I don't actually have green blocks. Oops. I think I'm using concrete. Looks like concrete. Right. So where's enchants? Down here? Yes, there we go. Enchants are done. First thing on the board, done. Fantastic. I should be able to get magic and a lot of these done over the weekend, so they should all be done for next week too, which is great. But the big thing, obviously, enchants. Yeah. So we started to go over them last time, and there are quite a few to go over. We need these items again. Perfect. Just grabbing a bunch of achievements, why not? We want a sword, shield, a bit of armor. Anything else? Sword, shield, bit of armor, bow, crossbow, spellbook, but we'll hold off on the range stuff, I think. We'll just do this stuff. It's winter. That's not good. What's the easiest way to do this? The easiest way to do this is to go fill biome. There we go. Void. Thank you. Right. Replace. No, I don't need to worry about replacing. But I think I want to go 10 in every direction. That way I don't suffer whatever's happening right now. I see a lot of snowballs flying around. Luckily, I am in creative. But there we go. Snow's done. Not annoying snow. Well, sort of annoying snow. I know rain. People hate rain. Anyway, so starting off with the enchantment system, you have to unlock slots by using shards of power, ancient eyes, souls from bosses, or ashes of creation. So we can drop both of them on there. Is that the correct thing? You know what? I don't have experience, that's why. Let me pick them back up. Experience. I'm totally prepared for this episode. Experience set us 100, please. Levels. Right, shouldn't it work now? Am I forgetting something? Is this the right one? God, I keep getting confused between the two. No, I'm pretty sure it's that one. Oh. I've been having weird things with this snapshot. Right? I know the only thing they changed is the fuse, but obviously, things are broken. Alright, let me figure stuff out. That's not a good sign. Apparently there was 25,000 entities in the world. Also, this is wrong too. This should not be this low. God, I shouldn't have grabbed snapshot, blah, blah, blah. Gibberish. Test stuff before you update, basically. I mean, they tell you on the screen anyway. Let's see if it works now that the lag is gone. No, it feels like the data pack is not operational, right? Because usually the TPS is not this good. God, so annoying. I guess I will try and figure out what exactly is broken in the pack. I mean, all the functions are there, correct? Yeah, all the functions are there. Right, Runechant, the main one is the tick function. I could type tick. Yep, all good. So, no idea. But I'll be back. There we go. That's looking better / worse, right? As long as it's green, we're happy. But hopefully, we can get on with the episode. So, we chuck one of these and one of these. Yes, there we go. We unlock a empty slot on our gear. We can do that for our shield. Done. And our sword. Right, so each of these now have an empty slot, meaning that we can special enchant them, I should say. We'll move that aside. I don't need any of this anymore. What we want to set up is a little random loot generator. We'll stick it somewhere here. Stick it right next to it, why not? A little bit away. We'll go there. Of course, then I delete the block. So, we want it to run the loot command. Spawn just above. And we want loot, Runechant. I think it was under fragments, wasn't it? Yeah, so then we want equal odds. Done. And every time we click this button, it will spawn a enchanting crystal. Ta-da! Right, so we got a enchanter's crystal, reinforce. So using that empty slot, we can now enchant our gear. So for instance, if I were to drop this netherite chest piece along with the crystal onto this little tower, 1, 2. They'll combine together. And our chest will now say Reinforce, of which it gives 5% speed, 5% armor, and 5% attack speed. Yeah, cool. Let's see if we can get something a little bit better. Something I can actually show off. So the red attributes, this is a green crystal. So we can actually show a little bit of the dichotomy. Now it's more than dichotomy, trichotomy, right? Because there's 3 things. So for instance, we can go with a sword, Enfeeble, right? And then we can do the same with a shield and the chest, but they will all have different enchants. So we have Enfeeble 1, Weakening Aura, Enfeeble 1, Weakening Block, and Enfeeble 1, Weakening Blow. So you can probably guess, you know, what each of those does, right? Weakening Blow is on attack, Weakening Block is on blocking, and Weakening Aura. Auras pop when you take damage. That is one thing that I will have to put a little, you know, tooltip or whatever I'd make for the advancement page. Speaking of which, I have grossly fallen behind on the advancements. Right? I think we've added a ton of features that I have not kept up to date with adding in the advancement tabs for it. Enchanting is probably a big one that I really should slow down and do. But yeah, why don't we test these out? So the big thing though is almost everything in this pack runs off of luck. So the more luck you have, the higher chance you will be able to proc different abilities. For instance, if I were to set the sidebar to luck check, right now our luck score is only 100, right? 100 is equivalent to 10%, I think, right? So there's a 10% chance that whenever I do these actions, so I swing the sword, I block with the shield, or I take damage with the chestplate, that we proc these effects. If I were to go ahead and give myself max luck, so add all luck, infinite, 99, and definitely true because we don't want particles, the luck check is now at 1,000. 1,000 is max, meaning that we will always proc these effects. So if I go ahead and I spawn in a husk, what we should be able to do, as long as everything is set up right, we swing our sword. We swing up. We swing. I think this one's a crit one. I can't remember. No? That's not good. Well, I guess we troubleshoot. Runechant. Player. Enchant. Enchants. Slash. Yeah, attack is there. We'll do crit first. Yes, so it is critting for Enfeeble. So I don't know if that's connected properly. You know what? We'll try the shield then. So if we go game mode survival, you can't get to me, can you? Oh, that works too. Summon a husk. We block him now. No? Okay. What about the armor? They should be getting status effects, which they're not. This is slightly dangerous. If I type, I'm going to move, aren't I? No, good. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to probably troubleshoot as to why exactly these are not working, because they definitely should be working, right? The normal attack stuff still works. Actually, that's probably what we should try. So I grab out one of these special weapons. What's chance on hit? Chance on sprinting, blocking, there we go, attack. Come here, our little friend. Yeah, that works. See how it, little splash. Okay. Let me figure out where I cross some wires, and then hopefully we can show them off, and we'll basically just be rolling the dice over and over again and trying out different enchants. I think I know what it is. I was sure I proofed these, but I might have added something to it. Yeah, so all the trigger mechanisms, they don't work, because I think there is a extra bracket, or not an extra bracket, somewhere. Extra bracket. Alright, that's not too hard of a fix, right? It's just Control F replace in a bunch of documents. Yes, back on track. Right? Oh, too bad. I should have used a weaker weapon, actually. You can see the particle effects. Yeah, the little smoke. And obviously, he has status effects now. But this one is interesting because, as you can see, I hit him normally. Nothing. You have to crit to actually trigger this effect. Right? So there's ones that are blows. You have to crit to actually trigger them. And there's strikes, which are just normal hits. Ooh, we got the shield and we got the armor. I think we'll leave them, though. And we will grab a few more crystals and see what exactly we come up with. Right? Because there are some cool ones for this shield I would like to check out and show off. What do we get? We got ourselves Gravity. That is not a cool one. Well, to some degree it is. Collector. Meh. Sacrifice. Sacrifice is an interesting one. Right, I think I've come up with a decent concept. Our Rampage is also curious. Barrier. That's an attribute. So all the red ones are attributes, and then we have the 3 different ones. I think Siphon is what we're looking for, right? Make sure I make a duplicate. So we do that. Oh, why didn't it use the crystal? Oh. Let's try that again. Why you no delete? And this is why we test. Alright, so I'll keep in mind that, but we have Siphon 3 and Draining Bulwark, right? So instead of block, like in Feeble, we have Bulwark. And the way this works is if you hold your block after a little timer, right? No? Ah, another broken one. It's meant to do a particle effect, right? So blocks are when you block, and then Bulwark are when you hold the shield up. But unfortunately, we hit another snag. This one's actually not as bad as what I was thinking. So it is hold shield, whereas in the little functions, I wrote hold block. So if I quickly just change that, we should be able to reload and it should be fine. If I could type shield, that is. Shield always messes me up. The INEs, I hate INEs in words. Anyway, reload. And did I save? No, there we go. Oh, okay, that's a bit intense. I might have to lower the particles. Right, so you hold it, and it is casting in front of you. Right, so the more you hold the shield, although it is meant to be slightly delayed, but it feels like it's not that long. So basically, the way it works, if I change the scoreboard, we go play, no, we go objectives, set display, sidebar, is blocking, right? No, not that one. Try again. Is blocking still. Is blocking still? Which one of these am I using? I think it's meant to be this, but it's not holding the count. It's meant to go to -1 and then that's it. God, don't you just love breaking things? Yeah, no, I don't know about this one. Not this, because it's working. Just not as intended. So it's meant to lock at 1, the way it's set up. And the way I'm doing it is I have 2 scores that control it. I have is blocking and is blocking still. So if we look at is blocking still, this locks at 1. As long as this is at 1, this scoreboard should not be able to drop below -1. Yet, here it is. So that's annoying. I don't know exactly what's going on there, and I'll have to test a bit more. But, right, we'll get back to the good stuff. We grab out some husks. Some good old testing husks, right? No? Okay. Interesting. Particles work, so the effect is working. It's just not doing anything at all. I will need to take a look at it. Right, the effects rely on it being continuous. So unless I fix the scoreboard, the shields don't work. Ah! We're not in the green just yet, unfortunately. I was a bit too overzealous. Yellow. Alright, we'll scrap that and we'll look for something else, I think. Right? So I need to see why that didn't delete, and I need to see how I can fix the scoreboard. Because it was working prior to the snapshot. Again, I'm chucking a lot of stuff up to this snapshot, but we'll see what else we get. We got Storm. Right, that's an easy one. So we grab out our little sword, chuck them both, gets destroyed, that's good. And come back here. We hit you. Yeah, nice and simple. Summons lightning. Right. The lightning on every hit. Which is good. Quite powerful. Obviously, again, it's tied to luck. So if you don't have the luck, you don't get the procs. Right? So that way it is somewhat balanced, because I do think from the way I have it set up, it is pretty hard to get to that 1,000 luck count. Right? So that you can't get to the point where everything insta-procs. They will take a couple swings. Okay, we'll do a few more before we wrap up, I think. Right. Give me... what haven't we seen? We haven't seen any sprinting or passive ones. Right. What do we get? Unyielding. That is taking damage. Now, fresh in my mind, because I've just done them. Warding. Warding, I think, has a passive. Does that have a passive? I feel like if I put on armor, it has a passive. Oh, not equip. Let's see. What's that? It says aura. Ooh. What do you have a passive on? Because I feel like it's meant to just give absorption passively, right? I'm looking through my notes. No, I guess I don't have one. I guess because it's built into some of the other set effects. We're looking for attack, earth, protector, quick. There's a few. I should be able to find some. Retaliation is not quite there. What do we get? Swift, finally. We do Swift. Right, so this is epic, level 2. Basically, we now get Swift 2. And it has no... has no brackets, right? That tells you it's a passive. A passive that is not working. This has not at all gone how I thought it was going to go. Right? I was so excited because it seemed like I had finished everything. Yet here we are. You know what? It might be. Am I out of... No. So they do cost experience. That's actually something I've not been showing off, right? If I do Storm, I'm going to die. Collector? Ah, we had a passive one all along. Let's do Collector. See if Collector works. So the legendary ones aren't being destroyed, it looks like. Collector. So it should be draining my experience, but it's not. Right? So we go function, Runechant, player, slash enchant, slash passive, slash trigger. Okay, so all the triggers are there. I don't, you know what? They're passives. I've not tied it to anything. Ah! My bad. Confusion. Collector is not a passive. I was thinking to make it a passive, but, right, we went over this. They cost experience. We're at 94, so it's not a big deal, but if I were to set my level to something more reasonable, say 30, right? So if we do 30 levels, now, Collector is a shift ability. So if we throw that out, right, it's on the ground now. If I shift, we get it. But you might notice that I am losing experience every time I do teleport it to myself. So you shift, you collect all the items nearby, but it does cost you experience to do so. And then as for the actual passive one, well, I fixed it. There we go. We get speed 2, right? So if you get the third version, you'll get speed 3. And yeah, you can just passively give yourself potion of X. I don't know, though, whether or not to include the particles. Because these are continuous, I feel like not doing particles, just because you will end up with so many available. And then in terms of the inventory, I have tweaked it a bit. So before we had the 2 bag slots in each corner, it's now you have 4 special items. So for instance, you got your equipment, 4 special slots for the data pack, and then of course your shield, right? So it'll be the 2 satchels that allow you to equip attribute stones, this little shard, which will be passive effects, right? That sort of tie things together and act sort of like specializations, if you will. And then these will be dungeon items if we ever get to actual implementing. We actually get to the implementation of the dungeon system. Ah, so close, right? But yeah, I'm gonna try my best to get a huge amount of progress done over the weekend. I think I've got some spare time. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed nonetheless. As I sort of just fumble through this episode. Progress is still progress. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.